Using weight maps when texturing can be a powerful way to control your surfaces. In this video, I'd like to show you how we can use one weight map to have multiple surface attributes on one surface. We'll use this object right here, and right now this object has 4 surfaces. We can either go over to the surface editor here and we can see the 4 surfaces, or we can go to W for statistics, and where it says surf, we can see the 4 surfaces and how many polygons each surface has. So what we're going to do is wipe away all these surfaces, but before we do that, let's take advantage of them to create our weight map. So I'm going to come down here to W for weight map and choose new, and we'll give it a name. I'm just going to call this color because we're going to use this weight map to apply different color attributes. And for initial value, make sure that's turned off. It doesn't really matter if it's turned on. You just have to take away and change some of the values. So I'm going to have no initial value and hit create. Okay, I'm going to switch this top view over to perspective and weight shade so that we can get an idea of what we're doing. Okay, so I'm going to break each one of these different colors into a different value on this weight map, because remember, a weight map is just a scalar value. It's from 0 to 1. You can go negative and you can go above 100, but let's just work within the range. It's just a 0 to 1 value that we're looking for. So I'm going to select the car base, which is this darker color, and let's give it a value. So I'm going to come over to the map tab, set map value, and for the value I'm going to type in 100%. So it's got 100%. It's a really bright orange. I'm going to deselect that, and I just deselected that by clicking over here in the gray. You can use the / as the shortcut key, or you can go over to the view tab, but any of those methods work. Let's select the lighter green here, and what I'm doing to select, I'm just using my statistics window, selecting the surface here, and then clicking this little plus sign, and I can grab all the geometry. It's just a fast way of selecting when you have it broken up into different surfaces. Okay, so with that selected, set map value, and let's make this 75%. So it's a lighter shade of orange. You can really see it comparing the tire here to the car base here. Let's go over to, say, car gray, and that's just these areas right here at the front of the car. And we'll set map value, and let's set that to 50%. And for the white areas, I could give it a map value, a weight map value, but we'll just leave it at 0, and we'll take it, we'll know that those points, the points weighted on with this weight map, is at a value of 0, and we'll need to know that, but it'll stop us from having to add any value to that other than 0. Okay, so now that I have my weight map set up, and I could keep adding. I don't have to limit it to 4 different surface attributes. I could keep going and have 100 if I wanted, or 200, but we'll just work with these 4. And let's wipe away all the surface information here. We're going to keep the weight map, but Q for change surface, and I'm just going to change this to car color, and we'll use default gray. We'll have smoothing on it. Okay, so as we can see, this object has 1 surface and 1 weight map. Okay, so it's not multiple surfaces, just 1 surface, 1 weight map. And the weight map has multiple weight map values. The points are separated up like we did. So I'm going to save this off, car, and we'll call this car weight 001. I like a version number on there. Save. And let's send that over to layout. Okay, so we've got it over in layout, and I'm just going to rotate the car, and I'm going to rotate the light. And just so that when we go to render, it doesn't have a black background, I'm going to come over to Windows, Backdrop Options, and I'm going to choose, well, let's not choose white because we're going to have a white surface in there. We'll just choose yellow, just so it's something bright. Okay, and let's do a render. Wow, that's really bright, but it'll work. But let's get closer to the car. So Shift C for camera, T for move, and we're just gonna move in real close. F9, and there we go, just gray. But we're gonna dress this up. So we're gonna come over to the surface editor, make sure we choose the only surface that we have, turn on the node editor. We're gonna activate it here. Edit nodes. I'm going to go ahead and close down the surface editor. Just don't need it open anymore because I've got the node editor. And we're going to need a couple components. I'm going to start by getting that weight map. So vertex map, weight map, double click. A lot of people when they're setting this up, they forget to actually choose the weight map. Make sure you do choose the weight map. It's not going to automatically know. And then we'll come over to gradient and add a gradient. And I'm going to use my weight map as my input parameter, and I'm going to feed the color into color. Right now, the car will be 100% black if we render, unless we go double click and we use our keys here to change it. So 0, well, we remember that 0 was going to be the white keys. Let's add another key. I just click on here and then come over to my position and type in 0.5, which would be 50%, and I believe that was our gray. And then I'm going to add another key, and we'll put that at 0.75, which is 75%. And I believe that was our light gray, sorry, our light green. So I'll come over there. And then we'll add one more key and put that at 1, which is 100%. And we'll pick that darker green that we have. Okay. So let's do a render, and then we'll take a look at what's going on. Okay. So I have my multiple surfaces, and what's happening here, I'm going to go ahead and minimize that. What's happening here is it's using the weight map values to drive the gradient. So where we have points, select with the weight map value of 0, well, they're going to be textured white. Where we have them at textured 50%, that's going to be here with gray, 75%. So it's reading the weight map value and applying the surfaces. Now what's really cool is we can keep adding more and more detail. We're not limited to just these colors. We can use these in other channels as well. But if we wanted let's just say we wanted the base car, which I just moved, I'm going to put that back at 1. If I show output, and I can do that for each one of these keys, it adds an input channel here, which allows me to plug anything I want into that. So I could come over here, 3D texture, and choose crackle, plug that into the color, and when I go to do my render, it's going to use that for that key. So, and I could have entire flows of all types of different surfacing going into that one key. Putting here, I can plug an image map into that, anything I want. So this is just a quick look. Let me go ahead, I'm going to remove crackle, okay, just so that we can look at the base setup so that there's no confusion. I'm going to open this up, and this is our base setup. I'm going to turn the show output off, and I'm going to fit this onto the screen. So the last thing that we see is the actual setup, something like this. Okay, so using this gradient and this weight map, we're able to break up one surface using one weight map to have multiple surface attributes.